What's up guys? Welcome back to the Classic Car Maintenance channel. Today we're going to show you how to wash your car like a professional detailer without scratching your car paint. The car we're going to wash today has been parked outside on the driveway under a maple tree. You can clearly see that this Jeep hasn't been washed in months. It's completely covered in a layer of grime and sticky honeydew. There's spots on the paint from fallen maple leaves, bird droppings, it's got water spots, you name it. It's even got moss growing on its roof and in most crevices. First, let's get our stuff together. For starters, you're going to want to put all your stuff somewhere clean, away from the ground. You want to avoid getting dirt and grit on your towels, mitts, and products. You can use a folding table like this one or any clean surface that's raised, like a large covered garbage bin or garden furniture. Doesn't matter as long as it's clean. Whenever we work with chemicals, we like to wear protective gloves to prevent skin contact. Remember, these products are formulated for car care, not skin care. When using stronger acidic cleaning agents like wheel cleaners, we'll always wear chemical-resistant gloves for added protection. We're going to use a wheel cleaner, a ceramic car shampoo, and a pre-wash snow foam. We'll use wheel woolies and a wheel brush to clean the wheels and tires. A foam cannon and a measuring cup. Large, medium, and small drying towels. A wash mitt. A soap bucket with a grit guard insert. A rinse bucket with a grit guard and washboard insert. A wheel dolly. A pressure washer with a long nozzle gun, a short stubby pressure washer gun, and deionized water. You can find all the products we used in this video in the links below. When you clean your car, you always want to start with the wheels and inside fenders. Dirt and soapy water will splash all over the place and water mist from your pressure washer will cover your car. That's unavoidable. If the rest of your car hasn't been washed yet, there's no harm done. But if you clean your wheels and tires last, you might have to start all over again. If you don't have a pressure washer, you can use any garden hose. A pressure washer is more powerful, of course. It does a much better job removing that stubborn caked mud from the inside of your fenders as well as the road grime on your wheels and tires. It's crucial to blast away as much dirt as possible to allow the cleaning products to do their job with maximum efficiency. We're using a stubby pressure washer gun with a narrow 25-degree nozzle to clean the wheels, tires, and inside flares. We like this combination best because the stubby gun is very agile compared to a long one, so you can work from the wrist. The 25-degree nozzle produces a more powerful water jet than a wide one, yet it is wide enough to work fast. You want to hold the nozzle about a foot away from painted surfaces. If you hold it too close, you might damage the coating. Work from different angles to get in all nooks and crannies. Now that most loose dirt has been rinsed off, we're ready for the next step. We're going to spray the wheels and tires with a wheel cleaner that is specially formulated to loosen and dissolve any metal brake dust particles that are lodged in the wheel coating surface. These tiny metal flakes are dispersed by your brake shoes and brake discs during the braking process. If you don't remove them from your wheel paint, they will start to corrode, expand, and damage your wheel coating. These particles, which can hardly be seen with the naked eye, will react with the wheel spray, making the runoff turn purple. They will dissolve partially and dislodge, making them easy to rinse or wipe off during the following washing process. Give the product a few minutes to react with the metal contaminants, but don't let it dry. Once the product has reacted, you can work it with a wheel brush and wheel woolies to remove the remaining contaminant. You want to rinse those brushes very frequently to avoid marring your paint. Finish by blasting your wheels with your pressure washer to remove all remaining product. Again, work from different angles to reach all nooks and crannies. You want to spray your wheels from all different angles to saturate all hard-to-reach spots, especially if your car has an intricate wheel design. Now sit back for a couple of minutes and let the product do its thing. Let's pause here for a moment. You'll notice that our front wheels react much more than the rear ones, turning purple in a rather spectacular way, while there is hardly anything happening at the rear. You might ask yourself why. Well, that's simply because our front wheels have disc brakes while the rear ones have drum brakes. It's the hot, tiny metal shavings from the braking action that embed in the paint of the wheels. The metal brake particles and disc brakes get airborne, smoking hot, instantly melting through the wheel's top coat. The enclosed drum brake design, however, makes it much harder for the dust to settle on the wheels. Any brake dust from the front disc brakes that might reach the rear wheels will have cooled down when it does. Now that the product has chemically dislodged the metal dust, it's time for the hands-on approach. Give your tires and wheels a good scrub with a soft wheel brush and a wheel woolly. These soft brushes are designed to be hard on dirt, but they won't scratch your wheel finish. If your tires are really dirty, like from off-roading, it's best to use a tougher brush that can really get into the rough rubber structure. Because our tires weren't that dirty, a soft-haired wheel brush did the trick just fine. After you've worked the product with your wheel brush and woolly, rinse your wheels with your pressure washer to get all of the product off. You don't want to leave any on there because it might etch your wheel coating if you do. Now that you've washed and rinsed your wheels and tires, it's time to do the rest of your car. First up is a good blast with a pressure washer to get as much dirt and grime off as possible. This will make it easier to wash your car. You'll need less product and you won't have to change your bucket water. Most importantly, you'll be removing all the sharp sand and dirt particles that would otherwise scratch your car paint during the washing process. You want to hit the dirt at a soft 45-degree angle whenever you can. This way, you're blasting the dirt and grit safely away from the car's surface. Hold the pressure washer gun at least 1 foot away from the surface to avoid damage. Avoid working in a 90-degree angle because the high-pressure water jet will actually sandblast the dirt and grit with full force onto the car paint. The idea is to clean the car, not to sandblast it, right? Foam party? Anyone? A foam cannon pre-wash gently lifts all the dirt that withstood the pressure washer, but without scratching any car surfaces. If you skip this process and start rubbing with a wash mitt right away, you'll be picking up sharp dirt that didn't rinse off. You might end up making scratches and swirls all over your car. It doesn't take any special skills to handle a foam gun. Just aim and shoot. You can adjust the nozzle for a narrower or wider foam jet. No need to rub and scrub. The foam does the work for you. Many people find it hard to get the foam cannon to produce rich, clinging foam. It's not that hard once you get the hang of it, though. Here's a few practical tips. The first tip is to use deionized water instead of tap water. Tap water has minerals in it and chlorine. These ingredients hinder the foam in action. Deionized water doesn't contain minerals nor chlorine, which facilitates foaming. The second tip is to use a product that is formulated for use in foam cannon. These contain special foaming agents that produce extra rich, clinging foam. The third and last tip: if there still isn't enough foaming going on, use twice as much product than is recommended on the label. Works every time. Once your car is completely covered in thick foam, let it work for a few minutes, but don't let it dry. Again, hose down your whole car from top to bottom. Just like before, you want to hold your pressure washer nozzle at a minimum distance of 1 foot and at a 45-degree angle. You'll find it's easier to keep that ideal angle when you use a long pressure washer gun. A short, stubby pressure washer gun works best for wheels and inner fenders. Now that all the preparation is done and most of the sand and grit bits removed, it's time to bring out your buckets and wash mitts. The grit guard and washboard combo goes in the black rinse bucket. The white grit guard goes in the white bucket. Add some car wash soap to your soapy bucket, soak your mitt, and you're ready to go. A grit guard traps dirt, sand, and grit down at the bottom of the bucket, safely out of reach of your wash mitt. Without a grit guard, those sharp bits would be picked up by your wash mitt and scratch your car paint during the washing process. The washboard in the rinsing bucket makes it easier to clean your wash mitt by rubbing it against the washboard. It's best to only apply light pressure and to swipe in straight lines in a crosshatch pattern. This greatly reduces the risk of visible swirl marks. You want to work in manageable, overlapping sections roughly the size of a quarter of your car's hood. Flip your mitt to a fresh, clean side for each new section. When both sides have been used, rinse it thoroughly. After you wrung your wash mitt out, replenish it with soapy water. What's so great about a washboard bucket insert is that you can dislodge all the embedded contaminants from your wash mitt's chenille material. All the dirty, gritty bits will sink to the bottom of your rinsing bucket where they are trapped beneath the grit guard. They are safely contained out of reach of your wash mitt where they can't cause scratches or marring. The two-bucket method with grit guards and a washboard keeps your soapy water clean much longer too, allowing for a much more efficient washing process. A quick recap. Gently swipe your wash mitt in side-to-side and up and down motions to minimize swirl marks. You want to overlap the previous pass partially to get full coverage. To demonstrate this washing technique, we've started by washing the top of the hood. Normally, however, you want to start at the top of your car, meaning its roof, and work your way down because the lower you go, the dirtier your car will be. Always keep a close eye on your buckets. If your car is really dirty, you want to refresh your bucket water once or twice during the car wash process. If the water in your buckets gets murky, dump it. There's no sense in washing your car with dirty water. You'll be recirculating dirt instead of taking it off, and your soap will have lost most of its cleaning power. The risk of scratching and marring your car paint increases dramatically too. Because our car is parked under a maple tree all of the time and only drives a short distance once or twice a week, it doesn't have the typical greasy, chemical road splash that daily drivers have. Instead, it is mostly covered in natural stuff like moss, tree sap, honeydew, and occasional bird dropping, and also some fallout from air pollution, of course. This stuff comes off more easily with a pressure washer than the greasy road pollution. That's why it wasn't necessary for us to change our bucket water. Notice the overlap between each section and how we wash in straight lines, following a crosshatch pattern to get optimal coverage and to not miss any dirt. There's nothing more frustrating than discovering that you've missed a spot when you're done cleaning your car. You'll have to break this ideal crosshatch pattern to be able to wash around fenders, mirrors, and other obstacles, of course. But whenever possible, you want to wash in a linear instead of a swirling motion. It may be kind of counterintuitive at first, but once you get the hang of it, you'll see it works very well. The tail end of your vehicle will be the dirtiest, especially the lower end around your exhaust pipes for vehicles with a combustion engine. That's why you want to wash this part of your car last. When you're done washing your car, don't let the soapy water dry because it will leave spots. You want to rinse it off without delay. Again, hold your pressure washer nozzle at least 1 foot from your car and blast it at a safe 45-degree angle. When you're done rinsing your car, it's time to bring out the drying towels for the last and final step. Yep, I know, looks kind of goofy with the little step and all, but to get a good view on a high rooftop like this Jeep has and to really see what you're doing, this works best. You may want to use a higher step or ladder for a larger vehicle. For a sports car, you'll probably be fine without. Whatever works for you. We like to use a large, heavy drying towel to dry the top end of our car because it works most efficiently and without scratching the car surface. You can throw it like a fishing net and pull it back towards you. Just let gravity do the work. Throw it and pull it. Throw it and pull it. It's kind of fun actually. It's so absorbent that it can dry several cars in one go. It covers a large surface with one swipe, making it time efficient too. The best thing about this technique is that it applies the least amount of pressure, actually hardly any. And with this awesome towel being super soft, there's no way it can scratch your paint. Once the horizontal top areas are done, you want to fold it so it's easier to dry the vertically oriented panels. Now that the top half of our car is dry, we'll switch to a medium-sized drying towel, which is easier to manipulate on the lower end of our car. There's also much less risk of accidentally dragging it over the ground and picking up all sorts of sharp sand and debris that can scratch your car paint. It's still large enough to cover a lot of ground fast though. You want a small, handy drying towel to do the finishing pass. One that's agile and fast to dry mirrors, grills, lights, wipers, strips, or around logos. Don't forget to check for drip marks. Finally, you want to dry your wheels and tires to avoid watermarks. They should be squeaky clean, so you should be fine using the same towel. Ours got too wet, so we had to get a dry one. When we did a final inspection, it turned out that some recessed spots and grooves were still caked with old grime. That was to be expected, of course. This car is only taken to a mechanical drive-through car wash every 4 to 6 months at best. We don't mind it being a bit scruffy. Hey, it's a Jeep. These circumstances make this car the ideal test case to show you how to get those last stubborn dirt remains off. You don't need much. Just a soft paintbrush, car wash soap, deionized water, a spray bottle, and some patience. Put some deionized water in a small cup or container and add some car wash soap. You want to use deionized water because it leaves no watermarks when it dries. Now dip your paintbrush in the soapy water and gently brush the problem area. Let it soak for a couple of minutes, but don't let it dry. Spray the dirty water off with your spray bottle with deionized water. Check if the dirt is completely gone. If it's not, repeat the process until it is. In our case, the dirt was so baked on from the heat of the engine and the sun that about 95% was gone after a couple of rounds, but some still persisted. So we use an ordinary joint brush which has tougher hairs and fits right inside this slit without brushing the surrounding paint. One pass, problem solved. It looks amazing. All the dirt is gone without causing scratches. Could we have used the joint brush right away? Sure, but you always want to try the softest, least damaging solution first. The harder the brush you use, the more chance of scratching your paint. The circular stains around the bolts aren't dirt. The paint is etched and needs to be polished out, but we'll cover that in one of the next videos. Sure, we put in some work, but look what an amazing result. There's nothing more satisfying than cleaning a car that really needs it. These before and after takes highlight the awesome results better than words can. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the results. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you liked our video, please consider liking and subscribing. More videos are on their way, so we'll see you on the next one.